Hey guys, it's John with ReelBlue Custom Rods, and today we're going to mix it up a little bit, and instead of doing the truth about VersaBlend, I'm going to start rolling in the truth about Pro Wraps Tiger Thread. And today we're going to use code 2005, and the color combination is orange and black. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I've got my piece of tape here that I'm going to use as a straight edge. And then as you can see in this thread, as I move it like back and forth, basically we just have orange and black thread wrapped together to create this tiger thread. And again, like the truth about VersaBlend wraps, the concept remains the same here as well, right? So like, not only is the thread designed to give you a pattern as you wrap it, a tiger stripe type pattern, that's what this one's designed to do, but also the rod diameter and then the length of the run as the rod diameter changes is going to allow that thread to lie closer or farther apart, changing up that that pattern for you. This product comes in a 85-yard spool, which is just a little bit smaller than a 100-yard spool, of course, but and that's the only size of spool you can get, and it's a size A thread. So we're going to go ahead and get this started, and also just want to make sure I'm up front. This this video is not sponsored by anybody. Again, just me doing videos, to make sure you guys have the information or the examples that you can use when making an informed decision before purchasing any of your thread products, before you start doing your rod build. But as we're getting this started, you can see that it's already kind of starting to do some really kind of neat stuff. So let's go ahead and cut this working end off. And then what we'll do, we'll just start wrapping this. And so the idea here, for a tiger wrap, there's a lot of different ways and things and to do tiger wraps. Historically, you're probably using 3 different types of thread: metallic and nylon thread. And then, we're laying down a run, we're applying finish, and then we're laying down another run and then applying finish. And then of course burnishing in between that. So, as the name implies, right, tiger thread. So the idea here is to save you a bunch of time by just, one thread product. You just apply it to the rod, and then you get a type of tiger wrap look. So we're just going to go ahead and keep spinning this. And if you guys are already starting to find some value in the video, hey, go ahead, hit the like button for me down there. I would really appreciate it. And feel free to share this video with somebody you think that would get a lot out of it. So as we're going, we're probably already about at 1 inch. And you can see the type of patterns that you're getting out of this. Let's zoom in a little bit. So you can see that different pattern. I've used this thread a few times before. I used this on a light rod that I did, a light trout rod that I did for a customer in Texas. And I really like how it came out, and so does the customer. I like how it really came out, but there is something that you have to consider, and I'll talk about that here shortly. But you can see the different types of pattern. We get a pattern, it changes. We get a pattern, it changes. Then we get a pattern, it changes again, then we get a pattern, then it changes. So it's pretty interesting that the different patterns you get that create that type of tiger wrap look to it. As we can see it changing again down here. Yeah, so it lays down a pattern, it starts to make a wave, and then it quickly changes based on how it's, you know, that orange and black thread is woven together to make that tiger thread pattern, as they're calling it, you know. Again, it's a Pro Wrap product, only comes in size A, and you get it in an 85-yard spool, which, you know, is plenty if you're using this for, you know, if you're using this for a decorative wrap or a butt wrap, if you will, between your fighting butt and your rear handle, if you're trying to cover up some space there, you know, on a split grip option. Also a great option for under wraps. You know, for your guides, if you're doing under wraps for your guides, this is also a great option on a, you know, on a heavier salt water or freshwater build where you need that size A thread as an under wrap. Yeah, so you can see the kind of patterns that we're getting out of this. They're pretty neat. Again, it gives you that tiger wrap look without having to do all of the other stuff associated with actually doing a proper tiger wrap. But, you know, if you're trying to save time, this could be a tool. And you know, even if you really don't care if you get the tiger wrap look, you just like the design, again, this is something that could be an option for you. So let's go ahead and tie this off. We're going to tie this one off. 2, 3, 4, 5. That will go 6. One more for good measure. Loosen that up a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to do one more wrap and just see if and how that changes. We'll just kind of skip a space. Come in right here. So this will be interesting. All right, so let's cut that. And what I like about this tiger thread, you know, Pro Wrap's product they're calling tiger thread, is you get patterns quickly. You really start to see the different patterns that are coming out of it pretty quick. So we're a little bit further down from this wrap here, which means the diameter of the rod is changing a little bit. But again, you can see where it's coming in. You know, we're getting a pattern. You know, we're starting off with a pattern, and then it drops and changes into this other pattern, which opens up a little bit. Then it gets really tight in here. Then it starts opening up again, and then it gets tight again. And that's kind of what the other side did there as well. So we're just going to run another 2 to 3 inch piece here to see how this wrap comes out, and then we'll compare. All right, so you can see it again, it's still doing the same thing. Opening up, tight, loose, tight, loose, tight bands, loose bands. Right? Tight, kind of loose, then really tight right here, then loosens up. Got a little tight, you know, like I back it up here, it gets really tight right in here, then opens up like more spaces, and then gets really tight again. It's pretty interesting. So what is the thing that you have to take in consideration with this Tiger thread from ProWrap that I was talking about earlier? So what you need to take into consideration, what I've learned, as with any type of thread, especially nylon thread that you're using, if it's a nylon thread, it is going to change colors or it will darken once you apply your finish, right? Versus an NCP thread. So if I, you know, this is not an NCP thread, a non-color preserver thread. So meaning, you know, if this was an NCP thread, it wouldn't change once I put my finish on it. But because it's a regular nylon thread, once the thread fibers absorb that finish, it's actually going to darken. So what I would recommend to you guys, and you can see this example here, right? So you can see right now how bright that orange color is, where it's mostly orange with just a little bit of black pattern in there, giving me that tiger wrap look to it. But then now here's a picture of a rod that I built, and you can see how it's a little bit more darker, right? So what I would recommend is I would just, you know, if you're interested in using the Tiger thread wraps from ProWrap, what I would do is once you find the color that you want, you know, run a little piece on a wooden dowel, go to Home Depot, buy a wooden dowel, run a little piece along that dowel, maybe a couple inches, and then, you know, put color preserver, put a few coats of color preserver on half of it, and then don't put any color preserver on the other half, and then lay some finish down over that and see how that turns out. All right, so you can see really the different pattern again that this is creating. And it looks, you know, when you stand a few feet away from it and look at it, it has a tiger wrap look to it. So I think what we'll do is we're going to go ahead, I think we're just going to go ahead and tie this off now, and then we'll just compare the two parts that we did. All right, so we'll just cut this, run it through. All right, so just clean that edge up a little bit. Now we'll cut this piece off. All right, and then we'll just kind of compare the two. So you can see them both side by side. You know, if I come down here where I first started, you know, there's some good thread looks and there's some good patterns. I really like it. I like this product. Again, you know, you just have to remember it is going to darken a little bit once you put your finish on there. But you can keep that from happening if you're going to use color preserver. You know, you just have to take into consideration where, in my opinion, you have to take into consideration on what part of the blank you're putting this on. So like if you're putting this on a butt wrap or a decorative wrap, sure, I would use I would use color preserver. But if I was thinking about putting this as an under wrap on a guide wrap, depending on the style of rod I'm making, I may or may not want to use a color preserver, because remember, you know, color preservers will impact the ability of the finish to be absorbed by the thread and go all the way down to the blanket and here to the blanket. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, or you're interested in learning more about color preserver and how it impacts your thread wrap, you can check out this video here in the upper right hand corner. So anyways, so here's the thread wraps. I think they look good. I think they're a great option. Again, it's a pro wrap product. It's called Tiger Thread. Comes in an 85 yard spool and only in size A. So I hope this helps. I hope you're able to get something out of this video. Make sure you hit the like button. Feel free to share this video with somebody that you think will get value out of it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. All right, guys, until next time, take care. Talk to you later.